are we ready for alien contact?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been waiting.
Interesting.
Waiting.
Okay. Now, the reason I ask is because I have a few little scenarios that I'd like to put forward to you, and I want you to think about the repercussions it'll have. I mean, accepting contact or acknowledging contact is one thing, but welcoming them here and, you know, joining with them or, you know, sharing information with them sounds pretty good, I suppose. But I've found a few things that may not be good. If, for example, how many people here have families and they've got to support families or have done so with a job and you've been looking after people for years and your mum's been looking after you, all of us, right? So aliens come here and they say, as a token of our goodwill, we'll give you the Z crystal, which we have plenty of on our planet. This will power your entire city for a year. Fantastic, thank you. So we plug it in. It's all done. What do we do with all our unemployed people? What do we do with the innocent people who, because of the technology coming overnight, because remember, we said instant contact, not a gradual thing. My point of view is, I believe that contact should be gradual over a period of time. I don't blame, if the governments are dragging their feet for that reason, I don't entirely blame them because of the effects on society. Maybe not in a country like Australia, but if you're in Africa and you rely entirely on digging for minerals, your whole family does, everyone around you, and you take that off them overnight, what do we do with those people? Do we forget them because our point of view was right and we're going to show to everyone we were right about this, you know? Something to think about, I think. And we had an interesting debate at our committee meeting over this too, but I just picked, as an example, I've just picked the religious aspect of what would happen, okay? And how much of a change that would bring to people's lives. Maybe not if you don't believe in any particular religion, but remember that 80 or 90% of the world does believe in a particular religion very strongly, okay? So we are the converted here. If an alien was to walk in here, I'm sure that we'd accommodate them, we'd understand, but I'm not talking about the groups that are in these meetings, I'm talking about the rest of the world. An interesting fact too, when I was on radio, I had a lot of opportunity to carry out surveys. And one of the questions asked was, do you believe in UFOs? Big number came back yes, and the comment after that was, how could we be the only people living in this universe? It was pretty good about it. I would say probably about 70% of people said that, you know? We rephrased the questions. How many of you believe that aliens fly these UFOs? Dropped down to about 30%, okay? Because it's getting closer to home. Flying objects are one thing, but having actual entities in there landing or communicating, all of a sudden impeded on our little bubble, I found. And the answer changed dramatically. But it's really the same thing. If you think about it, remote control craft, yeah, I understand all that. But see how when you put a different question to people, how it completely changes, yeah.
Okay. 70% believe in UFOs, 30% believe aliens fly them. Who flies the rest of them?
Oh, no, the whole thing doesn't make any sense, that's my point. It changes
or
because...
are they saying the rest of them are American?
No, they weren't saying that. No, but they didn't want to think about it, you see. So, okay, so we go back to this point I was trying to make about, say, religions. Now, no religion in particular, but if you so much as look at the wrong way as some religions, it could mean the death penalty for you, right? Literally, right? So how can you tell people overnight everything they've been taught, everything their parents have been taught, everything their grandparents have been taught, everything is been completely wrong and a lie? You know? It's going to be hard to accept. It's going to take time to accept. And I put myself in, I reversed the situation because everybody said to me, but people like that don't deserve it. I said, okay, you don't believe, you're an atheist, you don't believe in anything, all right? Let's just say that we do ask the question. An alien comes here, and one of the first, we had I don't know if you remember a meeting we had here about 2 years ago about if a UFO is to land, what would be the first question you'd ask? And quite a number of people said, is there a God? That was the question that was asked of the panel, you know? And I thought, okay, that's interesting. Well, what if the answer comes back and say, yes? Oh yes, there is a God. There was. Someone came to our planet when we were still primitive, and he sacrificed himself, and we've praised that deity from day one. And all of a sudden we go, say that again? What? Oh yeah, we do believe in a God figure and all this, and once a month we go and pay homage to this person. So does it mean that all of us, or atheists or people that believe it, will change and convert to religion because of it? Is it that easy? Is it easy for you to do that? Probably not. So you can see the point I'm trying to make is that it's not an easy thing to sell to people who have been indoctrinated or have a belief system that's been going on for centuries. So if we come in and bring this magical tool or a cure for a disease, who can argue with that? A cure for a disease, right? Surely that's got to be good, all right? And it is good. But then what happens to the system that we've got and all the people that will be made redundant in the medicine industry? I know.
Forget the people who are unemployed. What about the profits from Big Pharma? They won't make any.
Well, okay, yes, there's the profit, yes. But I'm saying everything has a repercussion that we as a society have to put up with. We have to look after each other in good times and in bad. So is it a good idea to have contact, someone come down here and open the door, they come out, greet us and say we're going to change your life forever? That's the question I'd like to pose to you, you know.
But isn't it already happening?
I have not seen a UFO or a Renee go publicly to...
People do sort of meet aliens and things like that.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about...
You mean a mass?
No, I'm talking about something that's you can see on the news. It's not hidden, whispered, talked about in meetings like this. I'm talking about immediate open contact, okay? Complete open. And at the moment it's all speculation. No one has seen anything officially, okay? All right, let's start. Okay, lady there, please.
I was going to say, I don't think that we're ready as a species. I don't think we're ready. And I just think about how, just as a human species, we still don't even think each other are the same race, right? We don't realize there's just one race of humans. So I don't see how, I mean, even where I'm from, literally right now, there are people who are south of our border who are called aliens.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on. We're we're all Homo sapiens sapiens, and we still haven't mastered that basic scientific lesson. So I cannot see how we would shift our own consciousness to embrace or welcome people or beings who we don't know what they look like.
Well, I suppose if we look at aliens as being one species, but there's probably thousands of them, and I think they've all got their different levels of morality and technology and advancement. So I think, for the sake of this argument, I think there could be irresponsible ones out there as well. I mean, we don't really know the answer to that, but my guess would be that from what I've heard and the rest of the committee here has heard from people's reports, that there are very irresponsible other life beings out there. They're not all responsible. I can't come to that conclusion based on what I've seen myself and the people that I've interviewed. No, I can't. I'll have to say that there has to be a level of irrational thinking or an agenda of some kind that we don't know of that would make them contravene what we would class as laws of normality or appropriateness, but they don't seem to follow those same rules sometimes. Yes?
I think different species have been coming here for thousands of years, and they have been coming down the past in larger numbers to come in contact with humans, and I don't think there's going to be any change.
And those of us that have experienced contact, I think sense that and know that. Like, there's something in our species that we just have not yet mastered our own aggression, our own, what our own ignorance does to us, what fear does to us. So I think our consciousness just isn't ready. And I think that's why there's been just contact with, you know, people, but not like whole masses. I heard someone say people would get out their shotguns or something like that. Yeah, they landed in Texas, forget about it.
Well, it
Right?
happened.
So,
It happened in Albuquerque. A UFO landed in Albuquerque. I know some of you probably remember the story. And these beings got out, and the first thing that happened was the local farmers there just started shooting, and they hit the alien, and it did a flip. I don't know if you remember the story.
That was Hopkins.
Yes, yeah. It did a flip and went back into the spaceship and took off, and you know.
we're not, I heard someone say like we're the cannibals or something like that. I don't know, I just know we have not figured out how to be good to each other. I just can't see how we're gonna master that suddenly with a whole new, and I'm sure that there are multiple species. This one universe, we live in a multiverse, but this one universe, it's like billions of years old.
Yeah, someone quoted Stargate. I'll quote Star Trek now. Right? In Star Trek, before they could unite, they had to get rid of their monetary policies completely. No money existed on planet Earth. Everyone had a skill, and that was how you contributed to society. And that was probably one of the key things, I think, until we reach that stage where, to me, I might have this, it's worth a lot to me, and other people can't afford to have a can of water, you know? We're miles apart. Once we get rid of not the monetary system, once we get rid of the mentality of wealth or poor or money, and you don't have to be rich. I know a lot of rich people that are pretty good people, and a lot of poor people that are real mongrels. So it doesn't always work that way, trust me. But it doesn't matter. Until we get rid of that type of society, and we really unite, right? We really unite as one thought. I think that it's pointless, and I really don't know the purpose of anyone wanting to come here to give us anything when we're so far disjointed. And let's not forget too, another point, that these people, we call aliens or whatever you want to call them, could have had a lot to do with our upbringing, right? From day one, from the day one when we were cavemen or women, whatever, right? So they're partly to blame about our development, if we want to say it that way. We can't say that they've interfered with our development throughout history and then clear them of any blame of the way we're heading. So maybe they've been monitoring us for thousands of years. So, and I can't say there's no interference. Someone's talking about a no interference policy. There's plenty of interference happening out there. Ask Cheryl, right? Cheryl, she could be at home 24 hours a day interviewing people that have had experiences, right? And she will tell you that from thinking that most of them were nice and calm and peaceful, she's changed her mind on that now. And it's disruptive. And so there is a lot of interference happening, and maybe we're just an experiment, and they check on us every once in a while. What do you think are we most likely to accept? Say the doors open in this UFO and a tall, blonde, blue-eyed being would come out and talk to us like they did in the movie, and the day you stood still, very human-like, perfectly human person. What if they're not shaped like humans and they're differently shaped and different features? Do we still trust them as much?
No.
No.
Why?
It just seems to be.
They just look like us.
So we've heard about reptilians. What if it's a guy just like you or me, but he's got a crocodile's head?
But I mean, again, we've got the safety thing built in that if it's so alien, it's so different to us, we put up walls straight away, and we've been doing that for thousands of years. So there's another barrier. Let's not assume that they look like us. Let's now assume that they look differently to us.
I don't think the space people want to interfere with us at all. The reason for being here is to warn us about the nuclear hazards.
People that don't know me don't know. People that do know me know that I often play the devil's advocate. Okay, that's why Cheryl likes to put me up here, cause a bit of a ruckus. A question on that, and this is based on my experiences with people, interviewing people, and hundreds of people that have had experiences. is it possible that there is some kind of mind control to make you feel that way, for whatever their purpose is, to be able to manipulate you or not make you fight back as much if they have a purpose? Because in most of the cases, I have two very close friends who have had close encounter experiences, right? And because of my friendship with them over a period of 10 years, I've been able to get some information out of them, and I mean 10 years. And the message seems to be that at first they had this feeling of they were chosen, they were very special, that they were picked and they were happy. And then it became a little bit of an angry thing, because then they started coming and I didn't want to, but they're nice, they're doing it on my behalf, and all that sort of thing. But if you're going to entice someone to come into your van, you can do it two ways, either by pure aggression or enticement. And if these beings are coming to Earth and contacting individuals and experimenting or doing whatever it is that they do, conversing even, or just a friendly chat, whatever, do you think that they could put that out there to not let you be scared so you don't just run away? Because if anybody in normal life, if you think about it, if someone has had a head shaped like a crocodile would come, the first thing that people would do would run. I think that's probably a natural reaction. And to not run, I would think that there's probably some kind of thought that's gone into it to say to you, I'm okay.